internet, happy Chinese New Year. I've been using Canon R7 as vlog camera for like 6 months already. Today we will dive deep but quick to talk about the pros and the cons using R7 as vlog cam. So you ready? Vamonos! For R7 it has a video switch. That means you can save video setting into customized C1, C2, C3, which is quite necessary for cinematic vlogger because you will need 24 FPS as standard. And then you need 60 FPS so you can slow things down. And again, you can also save for the 180 FPS for super slow-mo. Canon's touchscreen is very well designed. See the details for your hand here? And R7's touchscreen has 1.6 million dots, even more than the A7R4. Another thing is R7 has 2 SD slots. I don't need the extra one, but it does provide space for my backup SD card. In fact, what I'm using is TF with SD card slot, so I can have backup cards for Jones and the GoPro. And as the flagship of Canon's APS-C camera, R7 also has the IBS and Canon C-Log. What's more, right now you can get a brand new R7 body with just $1,200 US. So what are cons of R7? Remember the dial thing. I really appreciated the genius design. So let's say you have 24 FPS at manual mode. For C1 you have 60, for C2 you have 180. If you want to change 24 to 60, you have to rotate it more than one time and then switch it back. I thought about to customize bubble mode, but it turns out it can't. So what I do now is I use C2 as 24 FPS, and for C1, C3 I have 60 and 180. So I only need to switch it back and forth. Actually, you can consider C2 is manual and C1, C3 also manual. And one more ridiculous thing is that you cannot save time-lapse into manual mode or C1 to C3. That is ridiculous. And for time-lapse interval, you cannot set less than 2 seconds, but you can walk away with that. You just need to record a video and then fast forward. That's it. The thing that bothers me the most is the lens. Right now I'm using Canon's EFS with adapter. So this is 10mm, right? This is my arm length, and let's try 18mm. You see the difference? Right now there are only 2 IFS lenses and they all started from 18, which is this. For outdoor vlogger usage, the Canon EFS 10 to 18 or 10 to 20 is the only view lens you can use. Oh, I forgot to mention that if you're using EFS lens with R7, you lose the ability to set the control ring to control the ISO. Because for R7 it only has 2 dials, so I customized the second dial into adjusting ISO because it feels more comfortable. And I also used an adjustable ND filter, so I can kind of adjust the light in a certain degree. Let's continue the video. You may say, what about the speed booster? So you're talking about add another $500. Then why not just go with a full frame camera? And although you can use IF lens, and actually there is a 16mm with a low aperture, that could be your choice since the price isn't too high. And the bokeh will also be brilliant. The third thing I need to complain is the mirroring mode. For some reason, Canon decided, okay, for video, you don't need the mirroring mode. So let me show you the mirroring mode in photo mode very fast. It kind of allows you to tell the camera which is the most important part. It should be measuring the light. I believe Canon should give us back the mirroring mode of video because I'm sure there are a lot of creative ways to use that. The last thing I want to complain is that the high frame rate 180 FPS it actually doesn't record sound. This is Canon's APS-C's flagship and you don't record sound. I mean, yes, you can do the sound effect to the background music, but still, I just want to complain about that. Do I regret the purchase? Well, I do regret that I bought it at its full price. Only I buy this camera at $1,200. I have no complaint at all. I know for cinematic usage, full frame camera will be better, but I also have a budget. I mean, with the body length, the accessory stuff. If you let me choose now, I think the Panasonic S5 is quite awesome, which you can check detailed videos here, but it also has some downside. So maybe after 4 or 5 years, I may change the camera, but I think there's rumors that there will be a RF 11 to 55mm. If that comes true and the price is reasonable, that will be perfect. Okay, then that's it for me today. See you in the next video.